there's been another rape issue in the military recently. But the identity of the victim is as yet unknown. However, a pretrial military hearing has exposed Navy midshipman, a young woman, who has accused 3 military academy football players of raping her at an off-campus party. The accuser, however, has been asked a series of questions by the defense over the last 4 days, which would not be permitted by a civilian courtroom hearing. This young woman has been demoralized and dehumanized with such vitriolic questions as how many times a day do you lie, as she's been asked whether or not she wears underwear, or she was wearing a bra at the time of the rape, and she has been asked how wide she opens her mouth during oral sex. She has been facing scrutiny and backlash, of course, and threats by revealing the football players and accusing them of rape, and she has been shamed by her own lawyer for drinking at the party. And this is just one of many incidences that has taken place in the military, and this issue is becoming a greater and greater issue. Just in the year 2000, reports of sexual assault in the military jumped by 37% to over 26,000 cases in that 1 year. Now, that may partially be due to more people being willing to come forward, but this is just it's an epidemic type problem, and more of these women are facing retribution for coming forward and basically being encouraged to just shut their mouths so that the military and the academies and the football team can retain their good reputation.
Those types of questions that were asked during the trial, how wide do you open your mouth during oral sex? As if that has anything to do with this case.
Right.
And that's intimidation, it looks like.
And yeah, it's another tactic that they use, and also, when they asked her whether or not she was wearing underwear, of blaming the victim. And it's the same thing we do for all rape victims in most rape victims in this country, whether they're military or not, is that we blame the victim and we try to find reasons why they may have brought it upon themselves.
These kind of questions are way, way out of bounds.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this a little bit before the show, but like in civilian courts, there are rules against questions that you can ask the accuser in this case, or the victim in rape trials. And one of the rules is what's called a shield law, and you're not supposed to be able to ask them about their sexual history that doesn't pertain specifically to the case. So like those questions are way out of bounds, like under those laws, and to me this really makes the case for making the rape cases out of the military justice system, so they don't have to go through the chain of command, so you don't have to have so you have the protections that a civilian court would give to the woman.
Right, and that seems to be the main problem with the military and rape in the military, is the fact that you have to go through your chain of command. I mean, we've heard cases and seen cases of where your commanding officer may have been the one who sexually, raped you or harassed you or did whatever, and now you have to report it to him. Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and that's absolutely no way to protect our, service women from that kind of sexual assault.
Right, and there's no way of protecting these women, and there's no way of preventing these higher ups from taking advantage of their places of authority.
Because you give somebody the power to do something, and we're human beings. Some of us are going to do it. Some of us are going to take advantage of the power that we have over others to do terrible things. That's part of human nature. It's absolutely reprehensible, and it should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. But like I said, when you give somebody that kind of power, don't be surprised when they go and abuse it.
Right.
But it's not only that, it's just the differences in the way the trial is structured. Like there are inbounds questions and there are out of bounds questions in a regular civilian court. Like you can ask the victim in a regular court how much they had to drink. You could ask them what their relationship with the accused is. Like you can ask them for details about that, but you can't ask them random like pervy sexual questions. So
And these
like
were
there's
very random and very, very pervy questions.
Right. That was way over the top. I mean, can you even imagine asking a woman who has supposedly been through a rape how wide she opens her mouth during oral sex? I mean, how is that supposed to have anything to do with the case whatsoever?
Not only that, but it's just bad enough, having them have to relive it for the case and then to undergo these kind of questions.
And
and
her lawyer is saying that these questions, having absolutely nothing to do with the case itself, her lawyer is saying that it's obvious that to her that this is purposefully to bully her and shame her and degrade her into dropping the case and not making a big deal about it, just letting it go.
Right, and we already have a problem with, rape being underreported. Not just in the military, but it's underreported all over America.
But I just want to point out there's a big difference in this case between normal cases. Is in normal cases, like it or not, it's an adversarial system. So the defense attorney is trying to make the witness, who is the victim in this case, she's trying to make her slip up, and like you could ask her questions that are like off-putting and all that. But in this case, like it's not so much he's trying to hurt the victim, but it's like trying to discourage other victims from coming forward, because if these kind of questions are going to be asked, like because these are obviously way out of bounds.
I mean, what Sean said about making an example so that other women are discouraged in the future from reporting these crimes, that is huge. I mean, not just in the military, but in real life as well. I mean, even just having to go through and have a rape kit done is traumatizing in and of itself. I mean, imagine having your most personal parts of you completely violated and taken out of your control, and you're assaulted and attacked by someone, and then you have to go to a hospital and answer all these very personal questions and have your body touched and prodded and samples taken from you again. That's another violation. A lot of women would just rather not go through that, and so they never come forward.
And you have to pay for the rape kit in a lot of states, so throw that on top of there.
Man. That's even worse.
Talk about insult to injury.
But like the thing is, I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but like rape cases are in general incredibly hard to prove because they are he said she said, and we have a high standard of proof. But I just want to push the point home that it's not that the defense attorney is trying to win the case. It's that he's trying to like discourage others from coming forward. Like if he was trying to win the case and like the questions were off-putting but not like this out of bounds, like I would say that's different. He's trying to win the case, but in this instance he seems to like, and he did this in the specific public hearing, he seems to like be trying to put a message out that goes beyond the case, and I think that
I think you're probably right.